My name is Jim Blakemore, and I am the founder and the chief excitement officer for Iron Mountain Capital Group, a fund of funds that brings you top quality real estate investments with risk mitigated investments, and but still reasonable returns. We've had some people send us questions. So if you're on the uh, on the Zoom with us, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. And meanwhile, I will go through a little bit of a recap, and we will talk a little bit more about why Iron Mountain Capital Group could be your answer to your passive investment needs. A couple of things you need to be thinking about. Simplicity is the key. I've been in the, I've been a, I've been, a, I have been an entrepreneur all my life. I have built a number of businesses. Some of them have been very, very successful. The other ones we won't talk about today. But the one thing that I have understood or learned and continue to understand is that simplicity is the key. The more complex the things are, the better the chances of them going awry.
Mhm.
So I'm making it a point to make Iron Mountain Capital Group a simple to work with operation, both from the investor point of view and from the partner point of view. I don't like complexity. I'm too old to deal with complex issues. I believe simplicity is the way to go. The other thing I want to tell you guys about is trust and clarity. I mentioned on the webinar on Tuesday that I have been investing in real estate, oil and gas, and various other projects for many, many, many years. And one of the probably the two things that I run into more and more is lack of trust and lack of clarity. Um, Trust is generated over with long-term relationships. Uh, you don't. It's very, very hard to really invest in something with somebody that you don't know. I've talked to so many professional people, such as doctors, lawyers, engineers, and network marketers. They've got the the investment community knows that they have money, so they get approached all the time. The favorite line is, "Hey, I've got a friend who's doing this really great project. I'm investing in it. You should too." And oh yeah, just because you're in it, does that mean I need, what does that mean I need to invest? Are you a
Mhm.
sophisticated real estate investor? Have you been investing in real estate or oil and gas projects over the last 10, 15, 20 years of your life? I don't think so. Most of the time, it's the first time investor that comes to me with those types of offers. And the problem is most people in the professional field don't have the ability, the knowledge, ability, or resources to properly vet an investment project, be it a real estate project, be it a mobile home project, a self storage project, an apartment project, or an oil and gas project, or an industrial project. They just don't have you don't have the resources. So my philosophy is find two or three extremely trustworthy, very experienced operators and just ride with them.
Mhm.
The other thing is clarity. Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I have invested with somebody, and they talk to me every other day. I am on the phone with them. They send me emails telling me how things are going. I hear all about how good the project is progressing, yada yada yada. And as soon as I send them my money, crickets. I don't, the project may be going great guns. It may be making tons of money, but I don't hear anything because typically the syndicator that has put this has raised the money has closed the syndication down, passed it on to the operator, and he's on to his next project.
Mhm.
So my philosophy is one, I'm going to be a major investor in all the projects that Iron Mountain Capital Group invests in. I'm bringing a lot of money to the operator who is running the project. And because of that, I'm going to be I'm going to be the 600-pound gorilla in the room. They're going to want to make sure that me and my investors are well taken care of. And the reason is they want me to bring more money to them.
Mm.
So the clarity issue is going to be important to me. And why do I do this? You know, I have, I've been very fortunate. I've been very, very fortunate to do very well in my life in a number of different areas. And but the problem is I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an investor in multiple projects. Most professional people, most non-real estate professionals are not. And they really, without going to professional advisors, professional financial advisors, they really don't know what to do with their money. And typically they wind up paying more taxes than they should, and they invest it in with much lower returns than they could be getting. And then there's the case of professional advisors. Most of the professional advisors that are in with the big companies, they have to push the company's products. They can't
Yeah.
invest. They can't offer outside investments that could be even better for you, but they're captive to their employer. So those are three of the things that are really, I think, important for you to know about Iron Mountain Capital Group and about me and about what we're doing. So one of the questions we get is, how passive is this investment really? I mean, is it really a passive investment? And yes, it is. You can get as much or as little information as you want, but my philosophy is the investor is a professional, is an expert at some area. Maybe he's an attorney, maybe he's a dentist, maybe he's a doctor, a lawyer, maybe he's an engineer, maybe he works for a big company as a salesman. Whatever it is, that's what he does. That's his full-time job. And he doesn't need to be spending money or spending time chasing down, what his money is doing. He should be able to, one, make the money, two, uh, take care of his family, enjoy the time together, put some money away for a future. Call it a retirement fund, call it an education fund, college fund for his kids, whatever it is. Um, but to me, it's really important that they not have to worry about what that money's doing. It's up to me to make sure that I put it in the right place for them, that they get reasonable returns on the money. We're not shooting for the moon. We're not trying to hit a grand slam, but we're trying to make sure that the money is invested properly in specific investments that will return a reasonable, not excessive, but we're not talking about savings account type money either. We're talking about significant money.
All right.
What makes Iron Mountain Capital Group different? Again, like I said, most real estate investments people get into through a syndicator. And maybe there's a friend who has a friend who has a friend, that sort of thing. But typically the operator is the syndicator. And so they've got two different, they're wearing two different hats. Um, Also, the syndicator, the person raising the money, has a vested interest in making the deal look as good as possible. Iron Mountain Capital Group, we're syndicating our investment portfolio, but we're not the operator. I've spent a lot of time, a lot of energy and money developing relationships with the top operators. I go to see them. I go see their projects. I see them several times a year at conferences. We've become friends. We become, we're more than just business associates, we're friends. And I have developed those relationships on purpose, specifically because I want my I want to be able to talk to these people at a different level than just somebody bringing them money.
Mm.
And the other side of that coin is we're bringing them lots of money. But I may gather money. I may gather money from 10, 12, 20 investors for one project, which allows me to bring a big check to the operator of that project. And because I'm bringing them a big check, they listen to what I have to say. If I'm concerned about something, I get an answer. So that's one of the reasons that that's one of the primary differences between Iron Mountain Capital Group. How do I know if I can trust the operators? Verified case studies. These are people that have been in business for as long for 10, 5, 10, 15 years longer. They're not on their I'm not we're not investing in their first project, nor their second, nor even their third. We're investing in maybe their fifth, 10th, 15th. These are people that have been in business for a long time, have lots of experience. They've been through the ups and the downs of the economy. They've been through the vagaries of how various asset classes do good or don't do good, that sort of thing. They know what to do when the brown stuff hits the rotating instrument. You know what I'm talking about. They've been there. They've been through the fire, and that's why I know I can trust them because they already know they've already done there. They've already been there. They've already done had to survive the problems.
Mm.
Will this add complexity to your life? Absolutely not. That's my philosophy. It's my job to take that little bit of complexity out of your life. Yes, you have to have the CPA to give you the tax advice. Yes, you may have to have a financial advisor to make sure you've got a 401k or a IRA or whatever that is. But you don't have to worry about what the money that you invest with me is doing. I'm putting it with class. I'm putting it with Class A operators, and I'm putting it with people that I know, like, and trust. I'm developing that know, like, and trust relationship for you, so that I can bridge the gap between you and the operator. Yes, absolutely you have access to the operators. If you want to talk to the guy who's actually making your money grow, you can do that. I absolutely will facilitate that. So I don't see any chats. Laura, do you see any questions in the chat?
I don't.
Okay. Well then those were the questions that we received in advance for this. But
Is there anything else you can think to add just inside of what you know? I mean, you could speak for hours.
I listen, I can talk and talk and talk and talk. I've never found a microphone I didn't like. But I think the what I would like to do is if anybody there has any questions, reach out to me. My email is james@jamesblakemore.com. I've got a website that is jamesblakemore.com, and I also have my company website, which is ironmountaincapitalgroup.com. Come to come to come to the come to the uh, give me a call. Come to our website.
And is there a link on your website, James, for people to book a call with you?
There is a link on the website to book a call. There's also some resources for them to download. I have an ebook on how I select the operators, my selection criteria. I also have an ebook on passive wealth. All of those are available at ironmountaincapitalgroup.com. That's ironmountaincapitalgroup.com. And again, like I said, it's james@jamesblakemore.com. Looking forward to hearing from anybody about any questions that I can answer. I do have to say one thing. I am not a registered investment advisor. I am not a financial advisor. What I do is I connect you guys, my investors, the people that that are looking for the passive income. I connect you with the successful operators. I make sure that the connections are made there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to about allocation, how to allocate your investments. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm a one trick pony. I bring you to some of the best uh, real estate investments you can find. And that's my job. I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Everybody have a wonderful day. Goodbye for now.
Bye.